horse carriages helped put us on the map. And that was something we were just never going to give up on, no matter how many highs and lows there were in that campaign, because there sure were. But being the women that we are, we stuck with it. We helped each other through it and just kept going.
All right, Tiffany, take it from there because tell us a little bit more about the specifics. I know the timeline of it, and because I remember being there on the last day that you went out for that when we discovered and found out that the company had left the building, that it was done.
Yeah.
That was a great
Yeah,
day.
just like Steph said, it was the best day ever. So just like Steph said, we had so many highs and lows. We never, ever, 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 ever thought this would end. When we talk about the things we did, we took pages out of the book of other groups, and other OGs like the Cranky Vegan, with pressure campaigning. You literally try everything. You do whatever you can to make it work and to get it done. And of course, we screwed up a lot along the way. We didn't know what we were doing. We were walking into City Hall like, hey, we want to ban horse carriages. Let's do this. We didn't know anything. We didn't know, that you have to form relationships with city government. Like, just there were so many things. So we thought, okay, let's try this. This is going to get it done. And then it didn't. So we had petitions, selfie campaigns, contact storms, protests, undercover work. We, Stephanie and I would go down there in hats and all bundled up and look for violations for hours and hours on end and film it and get nowhere with it sometimes. We tried everything. We went down to the stable. We talked to the neighbors. We got the community involved. And we were getting to a place where we had run out of options. We weren't really sure where to go with this. We had so many media stories on the horses. So we thought with that momentum, that's really important. And making people more aware of the horses suffering. So we thought, okay, we're getting media coverage. We think this will help the campaign. It certainly did. But there were a lot of factors with the horse carriage industry shutting down. We were just a piece of that. And we are very fortunate and grateful to be a piece of that history. But there were a lot of like real estate issues and things like that. But we had a protest scheduled for January, and people even came from New York City. I mean, I remember, Justin and Stuart came down from New York to be there. Jen from New Jersey, Michelle, you guys, and we get down to the hack line and we're like, where are the horses? This is weird. And we call and find out they're closed. We go online, they're permanently closed. And a protest turned into a celebration. So we took that 2 years of just painful, emotionally and physically, just painful work. I can't even tell you how many times I would call Stephanie crying my eyes out. This is never going to happen. The horses are going to suffer forever. And then it happened. So my main takeaway from that win for the horses was do not give up. Just keep going. Keep hammering at it. Try everything. You're going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be wrong. But you just got to try. You got to keep going and you'll win for the animals.
I just wanted to add something, if I could, to that. So I think part of the issue with the horse carriages, they were so beloved, or supposedly beloved by the people of Philadelphia, by the tourists. And I think us being out there, at least once a month, showing the people that were walking by the reality of what goes into horses being forced to pull carriages helped to educate them. And I think once you educate the public on an issue like this that seemingly looks okay, if you take the word of the carriage company, oh, the horses love their job. This is what they're made for. This isn't heavy. They're not suffering. But once you expose the realities of a cruel trade like this, how they are breathing in exhaust fumes, how they are, there could be an accident and at any moment they're not getting breaks. They're standing in 100-degree weather. Like once people see that and understand that from the horse's perspective, and that's kind of what we did with years of protesting, showing people the realities, then the public was educated enough to kind of speak up and realize this is wrong. And so people would walk by with just like disgust because we were there. So I think exposing the issue was big for us and just showing the carriage company that we were not going to go anywhere, no matter the weather, no matter if it's winter or summer, just not giving up. And Jody was a big help. We would put out weekly alerts for the public to contact different people, different city officials, different city, different groups. And so that was a really big help, using other groups as sort of a roadmap, see what works in our city. Even though Philly is different than Chicago, there were a lot of things that we could also do and kind of revamp for our own city. So using other campaigns as a guideline is super helpful. And then seeing just by trial and error what's going to work for your campaign. And that's really what we did, was a lot of trial and error. But the thing is, we were open to trying anything that wouldn't get us arrested. We were kind of there for it because we were keeping the horses in mind.
May I add something real quick?
Please.
I think it was during that campaign that we understood the power of protesting silently. Yes, chanting and, speak outs have their place, but we decided we were not going to yell. One, for the horses, because they were already in a stressful situation and we didn't want to spook them anymore. But I think just standing there with those images and people passing by watching those images, it was just so powerful. We didn't really have to say anything. So the silent protesting really worked too.
Mm.